Hey, hello fellow weebs. Today, I wanted to make a video on One Punch Man, and today I started to add more enthusiasm to my videos because it felt like I've been making them really boring and that's why there's not getting enough views or whatever. But basically today I wanted to do a video on the future of One Punch Man, and actually I had planned this with my schedule from before, but it actually ended up turning out that today we got a big reveal in One Punch Man. And basically today we got to see what Blast actually looks like. This is something we've been waiting for a long time, and now everyone's theories are debunked, and it's great because now we get to get rid of everyone's weird theories. Like, I've heard a lot of weird theories in anime, like Crocodile is Luffy's mom, but this was also some weird ones, like this random bearded guy in the Hero Association was actually just Blast this entire time, or of course that Blast was Saitama from the future or anything else, but no, we've found out definitively that Blast is, well, not Saitama and not the random guy at the Hero Association, but he's actually just like a new and interesting character. And basically what I wanted to discuss is the duality between the One Punch Man web novel and the actual manga made by Yusuke Murata. And basically I wanted to talk about how the two of them are going in a completely different direction so far, and I'm liking that Murata is taking the series in a different way, that we get to see a lot more of a lot of different characters. Like, a lot of the S-rank heroes were actually explored a lot more than I thought they would be in this most recent arc. And also I wanted to talk about how the web novel is differing from the manga entirely, but they're actually focusing on Blast as well. And they actually brought in Blast's son, who was working for this ninja organization, and we finally get to learn more about the ninjas. And they've kind of been hyping this up for a long time with like Flashy Flash and like what's Super Speed of Sound of Sonic, and the other two guys that were in there in the manga. Now, in both versions, they're focusing on and expanding different things. But in One Punch Man, basically, there is now been this idea of God that's in the manga right now. And basically what happened is that when the S-rank heroes went to the Monster Association, there was this man called the Homeless Emperor, and basically he kind of figured out like the secrets to the entire world after becoming like this homeless man. And God granted him like a very OP ability, and basically now people are making a bunch of theories about who could actually challenge Saitama and get him out of his depression, and basically that would be a God level threat, which would actually be God itself. Versus in the web novel, which is not quite building it up as much, but basically they're focusing more on an aspect from earlier in the series, which I also really appreciate. And I want to see where the web novel goes and how it's going to evolve and eventually involve more characters and then get to a stronger level based on the opponents. And it'd be really interesting to see not just how Saitama deals with it, but how a bunch of other characters deal with it. And I wanted to see more from Saitama, but he's basically, you can't do much with his character because he's so set with his ability, which makes him just someone that can't really get out of the state because no one can challenge him, and basically all of his moments of excitement do not last for long. So I wanted to see him grow more, but it's also nice to see other characters focus on, and I really am hopeful for what this manga and the webtoon has in store in the future. And so now I wanted to talk about the manga for a little bit and how it differed from the web novel. And basically, so all the things happened where they went to the Monster Association. That's still all the same. But now basically what happened was that Orochi was not actually just killed in one shot, but actually he had combined with Psychos, which was one of his minions, and she kind of took over his body and created like a new form. And basically what she wanted to do is she wanted to merge herself with the earth itself and become like a more powerful being, closer to that of the level of a god. And basically this is where the idea of God comes back in, and we don't know if God would be like a threat on a worldly level or something even greater. but it's very exciting to see where the prospect of this God thing might go. And basically, we got also more news on the traitor, who is, spoilers, Drive Knight. And he's not a hero that we've seen much of, especially in the anime, but in the manga, we started to see more from him. And eventually, we got hints that he's a traitor. And we also got more focus in the One Punch Man manga from other characters, like a My Mask, who is the top of the A class, and he could be as strong as the S class, but he didn't want any weaklings basically coming into A class and either messing with his position or anything else. And also, he has like this kind of obsession with being the best and also being like a very pretty boy. And basically, when something comes between that, he gets very defensive, like we saw in this latest chapter where he wanted to, and actually was considering and attempting to actually kill some of the other S-rank heroes so they wouldn't know about what his power actually entails and what it actually does to his body and his face, which would be the opposite of what he's been trying to portray for basically his entire hero career. And he's just trying to keep this pretty boy external, but now it might be ruined because of how everyone else sees him. And also in this chapter, through a My Mask, we got to see a little bit more of Blast's personality when we had known pretty much little to nothing about him before. And basically, based on his posture and what he actually ended up look like, he is kind of like a very humble guy. He has like, even if he does want to disassociate himself from heroes, and maybe he was like more humble in the past, he actually seems very wholesome, and like he kind of bowed his head, and he has like surprisingly helpful and like hopeful posture when he spoke to a My Mask when he was younger. And I feel like basically the future of the manga that will kind of go back into the webtoon is, I feel like it'll focus on the post-Monster Association arc, but they might do something in between before they actually get to the ninja arc, which is still being serialized. So I don't really know what kind of direction Murata might take it, and he might also take it a completely different way and try to end the manga fairly soon by having Saitama defeat a monster on the level of that kind of like a god level threat, which would actually be something that could challenge him and would end up just like sparking a change in Saitama's character. Not something that could be like huge, but something that would kind of wrap up the story and end something for all the characters. And maybe because that's why he was focusing on so many of the other S-rank heroes, so that he could kind of end the series in a way that he wanted to, instead of just like keeping it dragging on when he doesn't know like what might come for the story in the future. Even though I feel like One, who is the author of the web novel, has done a really good job planting the seeds and crafting the characters, and Murata picking up the slack with the artwork and making it something very great and something very celebrated within the anime community. And one more thing I wanted to discuss is kind of like the anime and what kind of future it has, because obviously we had to wait for like over 4 years to get season 2 of One Punch Man, and the entirety of season 2 was kind of just like a build up for what's going to come in season 3, which is going to be the Monster Association arc. And I feel like I don't really know what kind of future it has, because the anime was very much so like not something that was very hyped up, at least season 2, and now I don't really know how it's going to go, and if they're going to get a new studio, or how long it's going to take, because it may take till like 2024 or whatever, and may take another 5 years for it to come out. And I hope it doesn't, but that's pretty much it for the video. This is the 5th video on my channel. Hopefully you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, make sure to like try to spread around the channel. I really want this to grow. It's been 5 videos, like no views. Trying to improve the content as well, and hopefully you enjoyed that. So bye.